Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, welcome here to the Spinnin Academy. We got something really, really live, special for you right now. It's FLX10, the live performance masterclass with AlphaTheta and Pioneer DJ. Please welcome the one and only Mr. Sam Shepard.
I honestly did not expect a round of applause, so thank you very much. Okay, folks, so let me just introduce myself. My name's Sam. I work for Pioneer DJ and AlphaTheta, same company. I'm the product planning executive for Europe, so it's my job to help with a very large team in Japan, America, design the products, work with the artists, try and give you guys the best products we possibly can. So I've been asked to come here to demonstrate the DDJ-FLX10. So just a quick show of hands. Has anybody had any time working on this before? Not Pioneer guys, please. I'm well aware you have. Anybody over here? No? So is this the first time you're sort of seeing this? This is the demo live. Perfect. Good. So I've got my work cut out then. We only have 45 minutes, maybe 30, including questions. If you can leave the questions till the end, just so I can keep with the flow, that would be great. I'll try and get through as much as I possibly can on the feature set of the Flex 10. But just so you know, there is so much more to this unit, as you will find out. We do have, is it called a drop-in room, the Pioneer DJ? Yeah, Pioneer DJ drop-in room, I think that's next door. There is one set up, so after this demo, if you guys want to go and take a look and try it out, our specialists are in there. They can take you through some of the features I may not have been able to cover in the next 30 minutes or so. Perfect, let's get to it. So where I like to start with things like this is I like to do a little bit of a history lesson and take it back to how we got to creating a product like the Flex 10. So for who, just in the crowd, who uses a controller? Okay, what controller have you got?
DDJ-1000.
Oh, you're the perfect candidate for this then. Perfect. What about yourself?
The SX2.
SX2, yeah, great controller. So we started making controllers 13, 14 years ago now, I think, and we've just developed it from strength to strength to strength as we go along. The more technology has evolved, the more we try and implement that technology within our controller range. So the predecessor to the DDJ-FLX10 was the DDJ-1000. Have you found it, by the way? Good?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what we needed to hear. Yeah, that was an incredibly good controller. It did really well for us for over the years, but it was, it started getting dated after a while, so we were destined to make the next line of controller. So the Flex 10, in terms of, can everybody still hear me? I feel like there's drops, yeah. So the Flex 10, in terms of usability, is quite similar to the DDJ-1000, with some new additions added, and I'm going to take you through as many as I can now. So in terms of layout, you've got a 4-channel standalone mixer in the middle here, built-in effects, 6 sound color effects. So the DDJ-1000 only had 4, so we're already ramping it up there. There's 14 beat effects, and then there's 3 new effects, and I'll demo these effects a little bit further on. Your very, very standard layout for a Pioneer DJ controller. So you've got your 3-band EQ and your trim right above, and then you've got your deck select at the top. Speaking of deck select, this does include 2 sound cards, and we have just at the back, if you can see here, we've now gone to USB-C, because that seems to be where everything is moving now. It's moving to USB-C, which for me was really handy because my charger was a C on the Mac, so it was directly straight in, and I was playing within seconds. No longer do we have to search in the bag and worry ourselves that we've not got a USB cable. The reason why we've added 2 sound cards as well is because we are Recordbox and Serato ready with this, so it comes with both Recordbox and Serato Pro. So whether you are a Serato DJ or Recordbox DJ, we're covering both angles with you with the Flex 10, and it maps absolutely seamless. As soon as you plug it in, the software will recognize all the mapping, and you can obviously remap as well if you wish to. So, moving forward now, I'm going to go over to this deck here. Now, I want you to just imagine sort of like a mirror image in the middle. I'm going to work on this area because this is pretty much still the same. I had no idea I was being filmed here. I'm trying to explain for people that aren't seeing this, and then I've just realized you can see it. That's great news. So I'm going to start working on this deck here, and I'm going to take you through some of the features and then demo. So we've got the really nice CDJ-2000 Nexus 2 style jog wheels. So you're getting a flagship jog wheel on a DDJ controller, and it's really good because you've got the jog wheel adjust here. For those of you who don't know what the jog wheel adjusts, is it adjusts the torque and the tension of the jog wheel. So for example, if I get a track running, heavy jog wheel, it's quite heavy torque on it, and then if I lighten that, sorry, I just like doing that. It's not part of it. So we've got the jog wheel adjust. Now this has come from our flagship range. So if you're purchasing this controller, you are getting flagship style features, which you'll be getting on CDJs and on our higher end mixers, which is really cool. Who of you has seen has anybody seen the jog wheel on jog display in the middle here? I know the 1000 had it. So the on jog display here, this is giving us the relevant information we need, and it will also change the information depending on what you're doing. So if I'm working mainly through hot cues, as you can see, it's actually cutting through the waveform here. So it's a clear indication of where I'm releasing these hot cues. For those of you who are quite hot cue heavy, I like myself, and I like to do sort of nice, beat juggling features. It's perfect because it gives me an indication of where I am at the track, and it's not allowing me to lose where I am within the mix. The idea of a controller, guys, is so you don't really look at this. It's controlling the laptop. The features on here are designed for you to be able to visually see it within the product itself, not constantly having to... the idea of as a DJ is you're supposed to be addressing yourself to the crowd, not sat in front of the laptop like this, so nobody can see you. I'm just going to change a quick setting on here, by the way, because I can hear something that doesn't quite match what I'm trying to achieve here.
I have a small question in between. Do you see the title as well on the screen? On the small screen? Or is it just the layout?
Sorry, say that again, sorry?
On the jog wheel, can you see the title of the track?
Sorry, I'm trying
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
okay, yeah,
Hi.
perfect, yeah.
Do you see the title as well on the jog wheel or not?
So as I was going into it, the information you can see on the jog wheel, you can change this information as well within Record Box. You can see your track ID, or you can change it to title. How I prefer to have it is the information like the key, which you can just see here by my finger. I think you can see behind me. The BPM, which is obviously key. Excuse the pun. And then you've got the plus and minus on your tempo range, because if you're doing tricks on wide tempo, you kind of want to know if it is on wide tempo or not before you start that trick off. And then you've got your beat counter here. Now this is key because if I just transfer the track towards the end, so this here, so let's say I find myself in a tricky situation. I've been too busy talking to someone or doing a shot, which is usually what I do. When I press play here, I can see here, okay, I've got 36 seconds to get myself out of the shit. Excuse the language, but I'm sure we've all been there before. That is key for me, definitely. And if you're juggling track to track to track, you need to be looking at your counters. So all the information you need is definitely in here. Another one that I want to if you just want to zoom in again back there, friend, is this little, can you see this little icon here? This green, blue and red icon. Does anybody know what that is? Don't be shy, raise your hand. I know you do, Will, you work for the company. I kind of mean somebody who doesn't work for the company. Stems, correct, yeah. So this will register that stems is able to be activated, and it's registered that it can detect drums, vocals, and instruments. I'll go into stems and what that is just a little bit further on. So that's the jog wheel side of things. Moving further down, this is quite recognizable. We've taken this a lot of it from our controller ranges. So you have your pad mode. Now, I wouldn't say I'm quite basic with my mixing. I do a lot of hot cueing though. So I like to juggle hot cues, beat jump, juggle hot cues in. But for the users that like pad effects, beat jump, samplers, things like that, here's where you can access them here. And what not a lot of people know is these also have a secondary feature. So if I hold shift here, this will open up the secondary features. So for example, if I have a hot cue, and I can beat jump on. I can move the hot cue through semitones. It's called the keyboard mode. This was introduced with the DDJ-1000. So there's loads of secondary features within these, but the standard features are hot cue, pad effects, beat jump, and sampler. Just out of interest, and this is just something a little bit aside from the Flex. Who uses samplers here? Does anybody use samplers? Or samples, should I say? No? Okay, I just needed to know that. I'm going to just quick note for something I'm working on. I thought it was a perfect opportunity to ask. On top of that, you've also got the page display here. So this will change through to different pages. So where you're seeing 8 hot cues here, I can switch the page over to have 16 hot cues. So we are giving you quite literally everything you need to be an open format all-round DJ. To the right-hand side of that, you've got your classic, I'm just using Beat Sync for now, nobody judge me. You've got your classic tempo fader, really nice size tempo fader as well. And then to the left of that, we've got our sync features. So you've got your Beat Sync, you've got your Key Sync as well. So Key Sync was actually introduced on the CDJ-3000s when they came out in April 2020. I'm showing my age a little bit there. And key sync, well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It matches the keys. So if this is playing in a certain key, I can match it with this key. Now, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. Don't do what I did the first time I attempted this. I had one key range here, one key range there. Tried matching them. One track sounded Mickey Mouse Disneyland. The other one sounded like they've been up all night and they need to go to bed. Just be very careful with it. If you're going to work on these kind of things, just be very careful and make sure everything I'm about to show you, please practice this before you just buy it, dive out and go, oh, that Pioneer guy did this, I'm going to try it in a club with 1,000 people in front of me. Don't. Just practice it at home, trust me. I had to practice a lot of this stuff. Okay, so that's kind of a brief overview of the Flex 10. Now we've got probably about another 20-25 minutes. So now I'm going to go into more of the juicy things that have been introduced to the Flex 10, which we didn't have with the predecessor, the DDJ-1000. A bit thirsty, Dan. Do you want to leave that?
Just a good angle on the thing. It's blocking fire.
That's all right, mate. So the first thing I want to go into is the beat effects, and I'm going to show you 3 of the new beat effects. I'm going to do a little bit of sound color effecting, and then I'm going to go into the part that I'm sure everybody's interested in, and that's stems. So the beat effects, just out of interest, how many of you are quite effect heavy? Who uses a lot of beat effects here, or who just doesn't use effects? Great response, guys. I really appreciate it.
I'm using effects.
You're using effects, thanks. That's all I need. I really appreciate you, mate. Thanks. Thanks for your help there. I'm going to play a track. I'm going to press play on this track, okay? And I'm just going to demo some of these new effects. So we've got the basic effects that we have on all our Pioneer DJ range. You've got your reverb, your trans, phaser, slip roll, things like that. All effects that the professionals are using on our DJM range, our mixers, our V10s, our A9s, even the 900 Nexus 2. I'm going to go through some of the new ones, which I find really, really key. And I really hope we continue these effects with further products. So if I get a track running, I'm just going to dip as I talk because we've no mic input. We have got mic input in here. I've not got my mic in here, so I can't have talk over on. So I've got this nice little track. The first effect I want to show is the low cut echo. So this is an echo, but it cuts out that low end, so it doesn't sound too muddy. So as you can see, as I'm applying the echo, it's just affecting your mids and your highs. Now this is something that I do on the higher end equipment, which has frequency cut. So I can cut it out. We wanted to introduce that to the DJs that are using controller ranges, and how we did this, instead of adding a frequency cut, we just said, well, let's just do a low echo. Cut on the low echo. So as you can see, the kick drum is not affected. The kick drum's bleeding through nicely, and that'll keep the rhythm going. Just wait. Okay, so it's a bit of a chain on the end of that. The next one I want to show you is the Mobius sawtooth and the Mobius triangle. These were actually introduced on a previous product, the DDJ-1000 to be exact. But I found a really good way of using this. If I just get a new track up now, just any random track. Not that track, that's not the best example. So we've got this track running here. I'm just going to key reset it. Now what I want to do with this Mobius sawtooth is I want to create the build-up and create that huge drama before the drop. So I'm going to find the drop, and I'm just going to have a quick listen to the drop first. So there's my drop. Quite sub-heavy. You'll have to bear with me, this is my style of music, you're just going to have to listen to it, my friend. So what I'd like to do is, usually when I'm playing, I will capture 4 beats before that drop. So I want to capture that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click the 4 beat button here. Good. Now what I want to do is I want to chain that 4 beats to my Mobius, because the Mobius can chain to your looped effect. Activate the Mobius. Get that Mobius coming in there, and it'll add a lot of drama to that mix. Now this is the Mobius triangle, which means you don't have as much low end on it. And as I cut the Mobius, can you hear the Mobius cutting? So I'm just going to select out. Just made a quick little error there, bear with me. And I'm going to cut my loop. Hear what's happening? Get the echo out there. Get rid of the Mobius. Get rid of the track. And bang, you're in. Yeah? So it's a really nice way of using Mobius. Sawtooth and triangle. Yeah? So cut the Mobius sawtooth with a loop just before the drop, and you'll hear that whooshing sound. It'll tighten up, tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Get rid of the Mobius, filter out, exit, bang, away you go. Blow the speakers. Thank God there's a sound engineer here, because I really would have gone for that then. Okay, so where was it? Yes, and then the other one was, where are we? Enigma Jet. Now this is not necessarily new. This has been around for some time now, and it's a nice effect for when you're having your build up. It creates that really nice whooshing sound. So the Enigma Jet is just whooshing through. Sweet. Okay, good. At this point, have we got any questions so far? Perfect. We'll save it till the end then. Okay, now the next part I want to show you is part of stems. Okay, so the stems is revolutionary for DJing. But what stems will do is it will solo out certain parts of the track. So you can solo your drums, take that out of the track. You can solo your vocals or your instrument. Now the drums or the low end, that's 2 stems in one. So it's affecting your low and your melodies. So whereas in Serato you have 4, where you have your drums, your melodies, your vocals, your instruments. Ours, we've collaborated the melody and the low end quite simply because it's a very similar frequency. So we've been able to do this with just 3 stems. And the difference between us and other competitors out there is we have designated stem pots at the top here, as you can you can see here. If my massive bald head is right in the way, please let me know. And if the light's bouncing off it, there's nothing I can do. Good. Now, whilst I'm talking into stems, before I go into this style of stems, I want to go to the effects part select stems here just on the mixer, because these are in continuous, these will be continue with the effects. So if I'm just going to select just a random effect. Let's say echo. That's an easy one. And I'm going to get a track running. I'm just going to create a loop for now. So we have a loop. Now, if I wanted to put an effect on this, but I didn't want to affect, say, the mids, I'll take away the mids. So that is now just affecting your low end in your instrument. So if there was a vocal in there, it wouldn't affect the vocal. So let's get a vocal in there. And now I just want to put an effect on the vocal. So I've just turned vocal on and turned drums and instrument on. Can you hear that? So it's only affecting the vocal. This is like next level. We've managed to achieve this. It's really changed the way I certainly mix, because now I can just affect a vocal. So when I'm doing, say, big reverberated chains before a drop, sometimes I really don't want that to be affected by the high frequencies or the low. I just want your mids and my vocals. So that's just on the vocal. With a massive chain on the end. Sweet. So yeah, this is really key, guys. And the reason why I guess you could sort of say it is kind of stem separation, but it's more for the effect side of things. So now let's get into stem separation. This is where it gets really, really interesting. Now, as I've previously mentioned, we weren't actually the first to come up with the stem separation technology. It was Algorithm and Virtual DJ many, many years ago. Now, it's come a long way since then, and I feel like ours is definitely, it's up there with the level of Serato. Serato really nailed it about a year ago, but we didn't bring it out a year ago because we were adamant we wanted this to be attached to a product. So whereas Serato's is attached to their software, we was waiting for a product to have designated stem selection, or not selection, isolation. That's the right word, yeah. Let's have a glass of water before I make any more mistakes, shall we? You put gin in that, didn't you? Yeah. Cheers, mate. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little transition. Now, if I want to transition from, say, a house track, let's say 125, and I want to bring in... and I wanted to transition to a garage track. Now, there is 100 ways that you'll have been taught to do this. Let me show you how stems can help with this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that the track has been playing and I've captured this. Now, as it stands, everything is playing through that. So you've got your kicks, your melodies, your instrument. What I want to do is I want to solo the vocals. So like I said, in previously, you would have to remap everything. So you'd have to go to your pad mode, you'd have to get rid of something, say, sampler, you would have to remap it, quite a long way around things. So instead now, it just comes straight through. Now, there is a bit of phasing on that. That is because this certain track is quite an old one, to be honest with you. And I did rip this off vinyl, but it is a banger. But the phasing can be hid behind another track, and that is essentially how you do it. I don't think, I wouldn't trust any, mark my words, no matter what software you have, you should never just solo the vocals and leave them running, because phase will start to happen. That's just technology, I'm afraid. So now, I'm going to get this track, I'm going to line up the next track so it's ready. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. That was quite a sharp speed. Normally I'd just use my tempo fader, but we are starting to run out of time a little bit. And I've got this track ready and coming, okay? And we've just had a flip in let me just restart that. My apologies, let me just show you what, I'm actually quite glad that, I'm not glad at all, but I'm really glad that's just happened. I've had part ISO turned on, which basically means it deactivates this fader, and you use these here. My fault, sorry guys. So now, let's start this again. We've got our vocal. And I'm going to choose something else. And now I'm going to do stem separation, and I'm going to bring the garage track in. So get rid of my drums first. this, so let's now affect it. But I just want to affect my vocals, so I'm going to go to my effect selection. And this is now helping build this up. Now if I turn all these back on, that is messy. And there we go. That's a very basic, before the mistake I just made. Nobody mentioned that to the bosses outside. That's a basic understanding of how stems work. Now, there is a million ways of doing this. I'd love to show you, but as I said, the reason why we've got the pop-in shop next door is quite simply because you guys can test this yourselves, and our team are out there to show you specifically how other ways you can do it. But I wanted to demo that because it's a nice way of transitioning from one genre, well, not necessarily, well, yeah, I guess, one genre to another. Hip-hop works really well as well because you can solo the vocals from a hip-hop track and scratch in the next track. And it really has completely and utterly changed the way DJs are now being DJs. I was with, does anybody know who Mojax is for DJ City? He's not going to like that. I'll let him know. He's all over the internet. He does. He works for DJ City and he works for Beat Source, and he basically does the demos on all products and everything. I was talking to him yesterday, and he was like, "I don't DJ like I used to anymore. Stems have changed everything." And this is a guy 30 years into the game. He was like, "Stems have changed the whole thing." He said, "I'll never go back to the normal way of DJing." So when you do get a chance, guys, get next door and have a test and try out of these isolator pots here. Take away tracks, add vocals, cut vocals, scratch vocals in, scratch different drums in with different tracks. If you have a track that's quite well known, isolate the instruments and the kick and the drums, which the crowd will not be expecting, and replace it with something else. This is the beauty of stems. And the beauty of the Flex 10 is it's the only controller out there with designated stem pots here. There is a heap more you can do with it, but we are running out of time, and I'm conscious of time, and I also want to make sure we give some time for questions. Please have some questions for me. Yes.
Yes, we got a question here. I don't know where the cube is, so I'll give you my mic.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction to this equipment. Are the CDJs also equipped with this stems function, or not at all?
CDJs are CDJs. Not right now. It's not. What's the pillow for?
It's a microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's real. You can talk in it.
I thought he was having a nap. I'm just now trying to answer your question. So there is ways around this. So we have a product which is a MIDI controller product called the XP2. So when you're using, to get my good side done, yeah. When you're using CDJ 3000s or 2000s or whatever, if you're using, say, Serato or a record box, if you purchase the XP2, the XP2 is like, if you just camera angle that in, Mr. Cameraman, it's like a massive version of this here with loads of different other features you can do. It doesn't deactivate the controller or the CDJs. That can then be mapped to stems. So there is a way around it. In terms of physical stem separation on a CDJ, that's not happened yet. Serato have got something out that they're testing at the minute, which allows you to map it, but then you lose your hot cues. Who knows, maybe in the future. I can't say any more than that because I'll get fired.
All right.
Thank you. Any more questions? Well, I have a ton of questions. First of all, can I ask it, how much does it cost?
Oh, euro. We're not in the UK now, are we?
Euros. We're not in pounds.
Good question. Let me
that's a fair question.
Yeah, it's a great question. Let me find that out in just when we finish here. If you guys want to stick around, I'll very quickly bring it up. I'm from the UK. I'm really not sure euro. I'm just bear with me.
Well, tell me in pounds. I can almost fix it a little bit then.
I don't even know the pounds.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
I'll find that out for you. I should know that. I apologise. I don't work on sales anymore, so it's tough to remember that. But the guys next door will be able to tell you like that.
And then a fair question: is there something still missing that you would like to see, or something come in the future?
Me personally?
Yeah. A fair question.
Great question. No, it's perfect. There you go.
Good answer.
No. Obviously, I can't say too much. I'm on the development team, so we are working on new features. But I think, does anybody know the RMX 1000, which is an effects panel? There's parts of that I wouldn't mind seeing on products.
Yeah.
But there is nothing in the pipeline. It's not even been discussed yet. I'd like to see further sampling effects. That'd be good. To be able to capture samples, cut them up. But the problem is you're then moving more into music production, and we already have products that do that. So, I mean, to be honest with you, and I'm trying my best not to be biased as a Pioneer DJ rep. I've tested all sorts of products from different companies within this range, and God's honest truth, I do think we've nailed this one. There's not much on here that, this is going to keep you busy for a long time. And the technology we have on it, through the use of firmware and software updates, it's only going to get better.
All right. One more question maybe for you guys. What's your target audience for this? Is it like home DJs, weddings, or also festivals, big events? What's your target audience?
That's a really good question. So we have a product line for the Flex range. So we have the Flex 4, the Flex 6, and the Flex 10. Okay, I mean, I'm sure you all did maths in school. You can work out the lower numbers are for the more beginner-related stuff. So the Flex 4, incredible product. That is definitely more for the beginner bedroom. And then you get to the Flex 6. I would still say that's beginner bedroom. Before you start delving into bars and places. This is very much more intermediate pro. The technology on here, if you're just starting out, I mean, I would say buy one because it's a great teaching product, but you've also got the technology on there to carry you through to all the way to intermediate pro level. There's still things on here that I've seen people do, and it blows my mind, And there's not much I don't know about this product, apart from the price, obviously.
Yeah, sorry for that one.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, pal.
No, yeah, sorry. I would have booked you for my wedding, but you made a mistake.
I know the price for that.
Oh, you know the price for that. Yeah. Sam, wow. Any more questions from you guys? I'm really impressed. I got the old version, so I'm old, so I got the old version.
That's fine.
And yes, I'm a bedroom DJ. Oh, we have a question here.
Do you think having the old one? Do you think you can work with all the new features, or is it too hard for you to do?
I was actually thinking about that because it has so much features. Is it like scaring people off? Yeah, because if you have the product, you want to know like every bit of it, and you want to use every bit of it. But some of it is like pretty technical.
Good question, if you don't mind me putting in there. So this is a really good question. I've been asked this recently, right? Everything that you see on the new Flex 10, you don't necessarily have to use it right now. It is a controller that works exact same as the Flex 4, the DDJ-1000, the RX2, or not the RX2, sorry, the one you said. It works as a controller, okay? So if you do purchase one and you feel a little overwhelmed, well, don't use this part yet. You don't need to. You can use it quite literally as just a DJ controller. You can do exactly what you need to do as a DJ controller. Yeah? I don't know why I did that, but just demonstrating.
No, I still won't book you for my wedding.
If you think about it, in terms of DJing preferences, you've got two platters. You've got a play and a pause. A cue and a play. You've got a tempo fader. There you go. And you've got a 3-band EQ, you've got a trim, you've got faders. So if it feels overwhelming, start there and then move further and further into the different features. But the good part of the Flex, is, you have features there that are going to carry you through, progressing through to more and more and better and better.
Yeah, it supports you to be like better and better and better.
100%. Yeah, it will support you if you're not quite used to stems yet, and you think, okay, my beat matching's still not very good. That's fine. Well, just beat match on it then. The stems are there ready for you when you are, and that's what I like about this product, and most of our products, because you can strip it back to beginner. All of our products. If you are just starting out, I'd probably won't say this one's for you because that is quite overwhelming. Maybe go for a Flex 6 or a Flex 4. Flex 4 is perfect as well because you can use the iOS app and you can use your phone with it and things like that. It's very mobile. This is pro, but I can teach the beginner on this very easily. Don't be, if there's something you're not too sure of, you don't necessarily have to use it. It's there to be used when you're ready.
All right, that's a great one. And the last one for me, because we're almost at the end, I think. The combination Spinnin and Pioneer has been there for many years, as I recall. I'm not working for Spinnin, so I'm an extra. How proud are you guys of the combination? How does it work for you guys, like making each other enthusiastic?
I was just going to start right there. Have you met Will?
No.
Because...
Will, you're from sales or not? Marketing, all right.
Will literally... He's your man for this one.
Right.
I mean, I'm very proud.
But maybe for you as a DJ
very
or whatever.
Proud of it. Spinnin is legendary, as is Pioneer DJ in the industry. To collaborate like this, and when I actually found out, I got the call to say, would you be able to do a demonstration? We're partnering with Spinnin. I was like, I'm there.
Yeah, I know, but sorry, I don't want to block you for on the stage.
But I just feel you'll get a much better answer off Will, who's literally the one that's done this.
Okay, Will, good luck.
Yeah, no, thanks. I think for us, it was just like it was our first proper explicit real partnership with Spinnin, to be honest, and seeing what Spinnin materialised last year, doing the same project with the world's biggest demo drop was super impressive for us, and the fact that we launched in between the last year of activation with Spinnin and this one, launching this product, which is, as you've seen from like Sam's demo, it's getting really close to live production and live performance rather than just simply DJing and beat matching and a song A to B. So it just felt like such a natural time for us to come together and partner and go alongside the world's biggest demo drop, because we have those products that can kind of carry from sitting in front of a DAW building a tune to then completely changing that tune on the fly within our DJ product. So it just felt like now is the kind of best moment for us to work together. And we're already in touch around next year. So watch this space, I think.
All right, let's go. All right, thank you so much, Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the one and only Sam Shepard.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.